Now, spinal cord is a very important question in terms of examination purpose. So, spinal cord, as you all know, it's a long, thin, tubular bundle of nervous tissue and some cells also that extends from the medulla oblongata of the brain to the level of the lumbar region. And the brain and the spinal cord that together make up the central nervous system. Now the spinal cord is protected by the vertebral column, which begins at the occipital bone and it extends down to the space between the first and the second lumbar vertebra. Now, the length of the spinal cord is approximately 45 centimeter in men and generally 43 centimeter long in women. So, just like the brain, the spinal cord is also protected by 3 layers of tissues called meninges and divided into 3 regions. So, it extends from foramen magnum, then it is covered by a sheath called meninges, and the meninges के layers होती हैं the dura mater, which is the outermost layer of the spinal cord tissue, it forming a tough protective coating. The space between the dura mater and the surrounding bone of the vertebra is called as epidural space. Now, the epidural space is filled with adipose tissue and it contains a very good network of blood vessels. Now, the middle layer को बोलते हैं हम arachnoid matter. The pia mater is the innermost protective layer and is tightly associated with the surface of the spinal cord. The space between the arachnoid and the pia mater is called a subarachnoid space, and where the CSF is present, the cerebrospinal fluid. And it is from this location at the level of the lumbar region that CSF fluid is obtained in a spinal tap. Spinal tap is kind of a procedure जिसमें से we extract the CSF. So each spinal nerve, जो spinal nerve होती है originating from a spinal cord, is formed by an anterior root and a posterior or a dorsal root, and both the roots on either side they leave the spinal cord. The posterior root is the sensory or the afferent root. And now, afferent of the sensory means that it carries the sensations, and the anterior is the motor. Now, motor means which carries the motor information to the body from the brain. So, the posterior is which carries the sensation, and the anterior one is the motor which carries the motor information. Now, in the cross section, the peripheral region of the cord, it displays the neuronal white matter tract, which is containing sensory and the motor neurons. Internal to this peripheral region is the gray, which you can see the butterfly shaped central region. It is the gray matter made up of nerve cell bodies, and this central region surrounds the central canal, which is an anatomic extension of the spaces in the brain known as ventricles, and like the ventricles, which they contain CSF, cerebrospinal fluid. So the spinal cord is divided into cervical, thoracic, lumbar. Cervical is divided into 8 levels, and they're related to different motor and sensory functions in the neck and the arms. The spinal nerves of the thoracic region supply the thorax and the abdomen, and the nerves of the lumbosacral spinal cord supply the pelvic region, legs, and the feet. Now we have 31 pairs of spinal nerve which are both sensory and motor. They branch from the human spinal cord, and they are formed from the combination of nerve fibers, as you have already told that there is posterior and the anterior root. So the spinal nerve emerges from the spinal column through the opening. This को हम बोलते हैं intervertebral foramen. An exception is the first spinal nerve, which is C1, which emerges between the occipital bone and the atlas. Atlas is the first vertebra. So the swelling found in the posterior root, उसको हम बोलते हैं dorsal root ganglion. This is the swelling that I'm talking about. Dorsal root ganglion, the swelling, which is found in the posterior root, which contain the cell body of the sensory neurons, and the anterior or the ventral root. This one is the anterior or the ventral root, and this one is the posterior root. So the anterior or the ventral root, it contains the axons of motor neuron that conduct the nerve impulses from the central nervous system to other part of the body, for example, muscles. Now, the spinal cord functions mainly in the transmission of neural signal between the brain and the rest of the body. Also, it contains some neural circuits which can independently control the reflexes and which are very important for our body to work. The 3 major functions of the spinal cord are the conduction of the motor information which is traveling down the spinal cord, the conduction of sensory information in the reverse direction and acting as a center for conducting certain reflexes. So it is the main pathway for information connecting the brain and the peripheral nervous system. Now, as you have seen, the grey butterfly shaped, it's the grey matter. In the center of the cord is shaped like a butterfly and it consists of cell bodies of the interneurons and the motor neurons, as well as neuroglia cells and unmyelinated axons. The projections of the grey matter, जिनको हम wings बोलते हैं, they are called as horns. So, and the ventral and the dorsal portion of each lateral half, the ventral and the dorsal portion of each lateral half of grey matter को बोलते हैं anterior and dorsal grey horns respectively. So जो ventral half है grey matter का उसको हम बोलेंगे ventral या फिर anterior grey horn, and जो dorsal portion है उसको मैं तो बोलेंगे dorsal या posterior grey horn of the spinal cord. Now, as you can see in this diagram, the grey matter is subdivided into regions that are referred to as horns. Okay, so the grey matter is subdivided into regions that are referred to as horns. The posterior horn is responsible for the sensory processing, and the anterior horn it sends on motor signals. So, जो posterior horn है, that means एक lateral half, which is the posterior half, इसको हम बोलते हैं dorsal half. Now, this is responsible for the sensory processing, and the anterior horn. See here over there, and the anterior horn. So see, this one is the anterior horn and this one is the posterior horn, this one is the lateral horn. Okay, so this whole butterfly shape, the yellow structure is the grey horn, the grey matter, sorry. So the posterior horn is responsible for the sensory processing. The anterior horn is responsible to send out the motor signal to the skeletal muscle. And the lateral horn, which is only found in the thoracic, upper lumbar and the sacral regions, is the central component of the sympathetic division of the autonomic nervous system. So the lateral horn is only found in the thoracic, upper lumbar and the sacral regions. Now, some of the largest neurons of spinal cord, जिनको हम बोलते हैं multipolar motor neurons in the anterior horn. The fiber that causes the contraction of the skeletal muscles are the axons of these neurons. The motor neuron that causes contraction of the big toe, for example, is located in the sacral spinal cord. The axon that has to reach all the way to the belly of that muscle may be a meter in length. So, कोई axon की length छोटी होती है, कोई axon की length बहुत लंबी होती है, कोई किसी का diameter कम होता है. So, it all depends on what function it is doing basically. So, see. Over here, there is this dorsal horn and the ventral horns. From here, the ventral horn or the ventral root, it is carrying the signal. Now, if I go back and what I have told you is that just go back to this diagram and see. This is the posterior root and this is the anterior root. Now, this posterior root is the sensory one and the anterior is the efferent one. So, and this ventral and dorsal portion, तो जो ventral और जो dorsal portion है, they are called as ventral or the dorsal grey horn. Ventral को हम anterior बोल रहे हैं, dorsal को हम posterior बोल रहे हैं. Okay, so this one is the ventral or the anterior horn. यहाँ से ventral root is going up to the skeletal muscle of the limbs in the trunk, and it is also going to the skeletal muscle of the back. So this is showing how the nerves is supplying both the types of the muscles, the trunk muscles and the back muscles also. So see this diagram, from the sensory receptor, from the dorsal root ganglion, this is the dorsal root ganglion, the swelling. Okay, so the sensory receptor is receiving and it is sending the signal up to the ascending tract till the brain. Then the signals are coming to the dorsal root, entry zone हुआ, then it is, and the ventral root is the exit zone. So this one is the entry zone and the ventral root is the exit zone. And from here it is going up to the level of the muscle so that the contraction and relaxation of the muscles can happen. So we have different nuclei in the posterior grey horn. We have marginal nucleus, we have substantia gelatinosa, and we have chief sensory nucleus, and the dorsal nucleus of Clark. The nucleus in the little grey horn, we have, इनको हम बोलते हैं intermediolateral nucleus, and they give rise to sympathetic fibers, preganglionic fibers. And present in the anterior grey horn, we have the alpha motor neuron, gamma motor neuron, and the Renshaw cells. Now, just go back to your previous lectures in the neuromuscular physiology, and you can very well relate what do you mean by alpha motor neuron and gamma motor neuron. So, the alpha motor neuron, they supply the skeletal muscle fibers called as extrafusal fibers. So, axons of these neurons, they lead the spinal cord and they supply the skeletal muscle fiber and the called the extrafusal fibers. The gamma motor neuron are smaller cells and they are scattered among the alpha motor neurons, and they send axon to the intrafusal fibers. Then we have the Renshaw cells, and these cells are also smaller in size, and they are the inhibitory neurons. Renshaw cells के बारे में already we have discussed. So these are the three nuclei present in the anterior grey horn. So in this diagram, the alpha motor neuron is innervating the extrafusal muscle fibers, and we have gamma motor neuron which is innervating the intrafusal muscle fiber. And the ventral horn, the neurons in the ventral horn are innervating the axial musculature of the neck and trunk, trending to be localized more medially. So जो ventral horn के जो nucleus हैं, just locate and just follow the path that the nucleus in the ventral horn, they're innervating the axial muscles of the neck. They're supplying the axial muscles of the neck as well as the trunk muscles also. And those innervating limbs and more peripheral, they are located more laterally. तो जो भी peripheral portions को या suppose करो आपके limbs को जो भी innervate करती है वो हमेशा laterally मिलेंगी the neurons, and the neurons जो कि आपके trunk portion को और आपके the axial musculature को supply करते हैं, the middle portion of your body, the trunk portion, so the neurons are localized more medially. So just have a look at this diagram and just follow the path of the neurons. Which a neuron is supplying to the spine and trunk, and which axon is supplying the extensor muscle of the extremities and the flexor muscles also. So in contrast, the lateral longitudinal motor column only exists in the cervical and the lumbar. So जो lateral horns होते हैं, lateral motor column जो होते हैं, it's only up till the cervical and the lumbar of the spinal cord to correspond to the innervation of the upper and the lower limb. So for this I have just given a brief idea. If you just forgot what do you mean by intrafusal fibers and extrafusal fibers. So in this diagram you can easily very well understand that this is the posterior horn, the anterior horn. From here the sensory signal, there is a dorsal root ganglion also. So from the dorsal root ganglion, so dorsal root, the axons of dorsal root ganglion neurons, they are known as afferents. In the peripheral nervous system, afferent refer to the axon which relay the sensory information into the central nervous system. So basically they bring the information to the periphery from the cell body within the CNS. The dorsal root ganglion develop in the embryo from the neural crest cells. Okay. So the nerve ending of the DRG have a variety of sensory receptors that are activated by mechanical, thermal, chemical and noxious stimuli. So the compression by a mechanical stimulus lowers the threshold which is needed to evoke a response. So this dorsal root ganglion, यहाँ से axons गए afferents बन के, and then it is going up till, see, this is the Golgi tendon organ, the blue one. Okay, the blue one is the Golgi tendon organ. The green one is going and supplying the muscle spindle, the middle part of the muscle spindle, and we have a motor end plate. This is a skeletal muscle. Now you can very well understand where is the extrafusal muscle fiber and where is this intrafusal muscle fiber. The alpha motor neuron is actually supplying till the motor end plate, and already have been discussed, as the alpha motor neuron is supplying the extrafusal fibers and the gamma are supplying the intrafusal. So this alpha motor neuron is supplying the extrafusal muscle which is actually at the periphery, and the gamma motor neuron, the red one, is supplying the intrafusal muscle fiber. यहाँ पे efferents आए and then efferent वापस गए. Now, white matter is one of the two components of the central nervous system. It also consists mostly the glial cells and the myelinated axons, and they form the bulk of the deep parts of the brain. And it is the tissue through which the message passes between the different areas of grey matter within the nervous system. Now, this white matter of the spinal cord is separated into columns, just like grey matter horns में divide होता है. So we have some ascending tract. They carry sensory information up to the brain, where descending tract they carry motor commands. तो ascending tract sensory information लेके जाएगा brain तक, and motor tract or the descending tract will carry the motor commands. Between the two posterior horns of grey matter are the posterior column, and between the two anterior horns are the anterior column. And between the posterior horn and the anterior horn neurons are the lateral columns. So with this we can say that white matter actively affects how the brain learns and functions. While grey matter is primarily associated with the processing and cognition, white matter modulates the distribution of the action potential. It acts as a relay and coordinating communication between different brain regions. So a brain can adapt to white matter damage by finding alternative route that bypass the damaged white matter area. So with this you can easily say that the white matter basically carries the information through the tracts, and जो descending tracts है वहाँ से motor impulses आते हैं, and so henceforth the body can work. So with this we finish the spinal cord. In spinal cord, what is more important is your anterior horn. There is a short question can come regarding to the grey matter also, and to the anterior horn of the spinal cord, and how does it supply the extrafusal muscle fibers and where it is situated. That's all for the spinal cord.